Good morning students, and in the previous class, as all of you know that I have taken Zoom classes, and in that Zoom classes we have read about the topic, and today we will describe the topic in a classroom environment. Today we will read about in the classroom environment. The name of the topic is, in this part we will read about the respiration. This is the respiration. So, coming to the part of the definition of the respiration, what do you mean by actually the respiration? So, in this part, it is a biochemical process. What does bio refers? Means living. In the living component, generally respiration takes place, and that is the chemical process. Life along with the chemical process, that is called as the biochemical process. As well as it is a catabolic process. Catabolic process. So what do you mean by this catabolic? Destructive process in which some of the substrate such as the glucose is being broken down. So it is called as the catabolic. Another is the anabolic. In this part anabolic is not used. Anabolic means building process. Catabolic means destructive process. So the definition of the respiration tells that it is a biochemical process, catabolic process in which oxidative breakdown of substrate takes place. Oxidative breakdown of substrate, respiratory substrate takes place. So breakdown of glucose, you can say it takes place, respiratory substrate takes place. So we have gone to the definition of the respiration. Now it is divided into two different groups. One is called as that is the aerobic, and another is called as the anaerobic. Aerobic and two types of respiration. One is called aerobic, another is called as the anaerobic. In the aerobic respiration, as we know that we perform some of the exercise in the morning. हम लोग हर एक दिन सवेरे सवेरे एक्सरसाइज करते हैं. We generally tell the name that we are going to do the aerobic exercises. Aerobic. So what is here in this part? Aerobic means complete breakdown. What is complete breakdown of your substrate? In this part, substrate, that is the glucose. Complete, totally it will break down and it will produce more amount of energy. Second, it occurs in the cytoplasm as well as some part mitochondria also. It occurs in the cytoplasm and mitochondria of the cell. The third one, more energy is given, and the energy is in the form of, that is called as the ATP. More energy is given in the form of ATP. Coming to the next part of the respiration, in this part in anaerobic, what happened? Incomplete breakdown. That is incomplete breakdown of glucose. Means not totally, it is not broken down. The total substrate do not get broken down. It occurs in the cytoplasm, similar thing, and less energy. In this part less energy is given, but in this part more energy is given. The energy currency is ATP in this part. So this is a complete part. In this part we have read about the respiration. Regarding the respiration, the definition of respiration. We have gone through the types of respiration, that is the aerobic and anaerobic. Now in this part we will conclude, we will start from that again what we will read in this part, coming to breakdown of the glucose. Okay, how the glucose molecule formed inside our body get broken down into three different ways. So this is very important part. According to the CBSE, this is very, very important, very necessary, and a number of times it comes also. So in this part what happened? Glucose which is formed in our body, glucose is formed as we consume more amount of food or as we consume different types of food. So glucose is produced. So how glucose gives us the energy? How the energy is produced in the part of the body or in the different parts? By two different modes, that is aerobic and another is the anaerobic. So first of all, glucose gets broken down into the part of the pyruvate. It gives out the energy, and three different pathway has been given. Three different pathway of breaking down of glucose has been given. The first part, in the absence of oxygen, oxygen is not required. Means in this part no oxygen is required. Means that is anaerobic process. This is part that is called as the anaerobic process. Absence of oxygen. In absence of oxygen, what are the products formed? Ethanol, CO2 and energy. The energy is less in amount, less energy. As we know that in anaerobic part, in this part, less energy is given out. So in this part also the less energy is given out. Okay, ethanol. Now in the coming part, generally this is used in the preparation of alcoholic beverages. This method is used in the preparation of alcoholic beverages. Now second thing is about lack of oxygen. What happens when we undergo vigorous exercises? Suppose some athletes undergo exercises throughout a number of hours, for a number of hours. So at that time the muscles, if the muscles do not get sufficient amount of oxygen, so at that time it also respire anaerobically. Okay, the muscles undergoes lack of oxygen. Due to the lack of oxygen, means that is also one part of anaerobic. In this part, lactic acid is deposited. As a result of which the athlete or the sportsman suffer from, that is the sprain or the cramp. In this part, lactic acid deposition, and the energy is also in the less form. The third part, that is the presence of oxygen. Generally it takes place inside our body. In this part, aerobic. This is the aerobic respiration. In this part, aerobic type of respiration takes place, and glucose is being breaking down to form CO2, water and energy. So this is the most important part. Okay, and in number of times different types of question comes from this topic. So once again, have a feedback regarding this topic. That is the definition: respiration, catabolic process, destructive process, and it is also a biochemical process in which that is the oxidative breakdown of the respiratory substrate takes place. It is of two types, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic, presence of oxygen; anaerobic, absence of oxygen. Now how does the glucose, or in this part how the glucose get broken down into the three different forms? In the absence of oxygen, when oxygen is not required, ethanol. Generally alcohols are prepared by these methods. Lack of oxygen, when athletes undergoes exercise, generally lactic acid and energy is formed. And the third process is about the presence of oxygen which takes place inside our body, and CO2 along with water and energy, and more amount of energy is formed in this part. More energy in the form, energy is formed, and that is also in the part of the ATP. So this completes the total topic of a respiration and breakdown of glucose. Okay, thank you.